right. Hello and welcome to WCU Talks. We are your hosts. My name is Paiton.
And my name's Joan.
And today, WCU Talks is going to talk about freshman advice. So we have about 10 advice points we're going to hit during this episode. And Joan's going to start us off.
Yeah, so the first one is definitely time management. I know as a freshman, it was really hard, um, you know, timing out everything with my classes and like my social life and stuff like that. But I definitely would recommend having a planner. I know I didn't get a planner until my sophomore year of college, and that was one of my biggest regrets. I don't know about you, Paige, but
Yeah.
I was never a planner type person. But and I just like never realized the importance of it. So I was like, you know what? I can just memorize it all in my head. Like I know what class I have homework in and stuff like that. But I realized I was like, oh my God, like writing stuff down really helps. Like I can't memorize anything in my head. Like I don't even remember what I ate for dinner yesterday.
Yeah, let alone like a class you had 2 days ago. Yeah,
Yeah.
so what I've done is I started with like a agenda planner, like a physical book, and then I switched over to a calendar. I have a boyfriend and I live with him, and some way that we've been able to communicate when I have club meetings or tests or he's gone for work things is we have a shared planner. And then I also have shared planners if you're in a club. For instance, I'm in German club, so we have a shared planner just so we can see when everyone's available to do things.
Oh
So yeah,
wow.
so like even like an app on your phone works, but there's nothing better than pen to paper writing down a list of what you have to get
Yeah.
done.
And even if you're not like a pen and like paper person, like I know my brother and like my friends use Google Calendar.
Yes,
Um,
yes, love Google
If you have
Calendar.
like an iPad or like if you're always on your laptop, I know that's like a really great way to, like keep stuff on track. My friends love it and my brother loves it too, and they always recommend it to me. So I'm definitely gonna be switching over to Google Calendar
Yes,
soon.
yes, and then you can access it on your phone or computer. So yeah,
Yeah.
great. Yeah, time management is probably my number one advice for all freshmen coming in.
Yes, I agree.
So number two is meet people. That was my first concern walking into college. Also, I
Yeah.
started school on Zoom. I don't know about you, Joan, if you were walking into Zoom University.
Yeah.
But that was my biggest concern is meeting people, and the best way that I have met people is one through my major classes, just group projects. You
Definitely.
stay in touch, and sometimes you'll see familiar faces and different semesters. And then the second thing that we'll get into, I think in a point or two, is clubs. Clubs are a great way to meet
Yes.
people.
Yes.
So there's so many clubs, especially in Westchester, at Westchester University, that you'll be able to find your people.
Yeah, definitely. I know I'm a very introverted person, and coming to college, I was really scared because I was just, coming away from home. Like, I live in Jersey, which is like an hour away, but I still felt like I was like somewhere far, and I just didn't know what to expect because there's a lot of different types of people coming from different states and stuff like that. But I definitely highly, highly recommend just reaching out to people. Like if you see a girl sitting next to you in class, just be like, hey, like introduce yourself. Like they're not gonna think you're weird. Like they'll actually be happy that someone like sparked a conversation with them because they were probably scared to like spark conversation. You know what I mean?
Oh
Like
yeah, totally. And I would say I know at least at Westchester you will have a first year experience class, and I met so many people through FYE. Actually, one of
yes,
my best friends, like we just meshed up because usually they'll put you with your major, like kids in
yes.
your major. So that's how like I found some of my best friends. So even though it's all new and fresh, everyone's going through the same experience. So just know you're not alone.
Yeah, and I've definitely met a lot of people on my dorm floor too. I lived in Commonwealth freshman year, and there are a lot of like amazing people that I met. And I don't really talk to them anymore, but they were still a good group of people like
Yeah.
during my freshman year. And people are gonna come and go. Like, don't just like try to keep your circle small. I would definitely recommend, just reaching out to different types of people. Like college is like an experience. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
for sure. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So number three here is the use of the tutoring center. Have you used the tutoring center, Joe?
I actually have freshman year. I used
Really?
the
Okay. I feel really bad saying this, but I have not. So please tell me about it.
So this was like my freshman writing class, I believe. It was part of like the class. It was like required for us to go at least like once or twice a week. And we would have like a tutor, and they would just help us with like our essays, give us feedback and stuff. It's actually in the library on the bottom floor. Um, but ever since freshman year, I haven't went. I just went that one semester required for class, but I definitely think it was really, really helpful. Because like college and high school are very different. And high school, like there weren't tutors for you to like give
Right.
feedback on your assignments and stuff like that. So I came into college having a tutor, and I was like, wow, this is actually amazing. And they're the tutors are just so great. Like they know exactly what they're talking about. They know exactly what your professors are requiring you to do. So I feel like it's really nice to have someone to like guide you, because like you don't know what you're doing. You're a freshman, like you don't know
Yeah.
what to do. So I definitely think it helped me a lot my freshman year for sure.
Yeah, and even if it's just getting a second pair of eyes on that term paper, whatever it may
Yeah.
be, I know that like tutoring center also can go with another point we have on here is meeting with faculty. So professors
Yes.
will have office hours, and they're there for a reason. And a lot of times professors won't be as outspoken about them, but they are there for a reason. So definitely use those office hours.
Yeah. I never really used office hours, and I'm a senior now, and I honestly regret it. So definitely, definitely for freshmen, I feel like they should utilize it as much as they can, because it's honestly helpful. And if you miss out on an assignment, or if there's some confusion there, like sometimes emailing doesn't really do us justice, and it's better
Right.
to go to their office hours and talk about it in person and get some feedback on stuff. So I definitely think going to office hours is a great help as well.
Yeah, and last point there is I've ran into this is you will need letters of recommendation at some point.
Yes,
And
yes, yes.
it is easy to become a number in college. It's not like high school where
Yeah,
you see those teachers every day. It's rare to make a close connection with a professor. So the use, even if you're just popping in, even though you may not need them,
yeah.
maybe it's good to build a relationship with the professors because they will help you in the long run.
Yeah. And professors definitely like recognize the students, and like they stand out to them. So if you go to their office hours, they'll have a good impression on you and will give you a good letter of recommendation.
Yeah, totally. All right. Do you see any other on here? Do you have any other ideas?
Yeah, I going back to joining clubs, I definitely think that's a very important one. I know Westchester does like the fairs a lot. They do it in Sykes, they do it on the quad. Um, and I definitely think that's a great opportunity to like meet other people as well. I used to be in Charge, which is like an exercise like club here on campus. I don't know, Paige, if you've heard about Charge,
Oh, yes.
but
Yep, yep. I've heard about
yeah,
it.
it was great. Like there's so many amazing girls, and it's just so empowering, meeting different types of girls and different like grade levels as well. They're like freshmen, there's like juniors or seniors. It's just like a lot of different variety. And definitely like if you're interested in like Greek life, I would definitely suggest joining Greek life. I never thought I would be someone to join a sorority, but I did join a junior year, and I honestly don't regret it. I feel like it's better late than never, and it's good to put yourself out there. Like even if you don't see yourself being in a sorority, and I know a lot of people have that stereotype that, oh, you're just paying money to like make friends, but honestly there's so many different opportunities as well. Being part of Greek life, there's so many leadership opportunities and stuff that you gain from Greek life. So I feel like if you never know until you try. That's what I told
Yeah.
myself. So
And usually they'll have information sessions or even, yeah, the use of the involvement fairs. It's
yeah.
just go and talk. We all have different likes and interests. I know like recently there is a new like Taylor Swift club on campus.
Oh
um,
my gosh, no
yeah,
idea.
yep. So like there really is something for everyone. And
Yeah.
that's the beauty of clubs, and that's where you're gonna find those people. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. So, I just actually I want to bring up this one because it kind of goes with the tutoring in some way is that there are so many services on campus to use, and I just use this because I am a fresh senior this semester. I needed to shape up my resume, and so the use of career services is very, very important. And I know as a freshman you feel like I just got into college. I don't really have a resume yet, but resumes take a very long time to make, and you
Absolutely.
want to make it perfect, and you don't want
Yeah,
to be scrambling your senior year
yeah,
because you don't have, at least you need the tools to know what goes into a resume. So the career
yes,
services are great. I mean, I scheduled a 30-minute Zoom call with them, and then we chatted about like what I have, what looks good, maybe like some things I shouldn't put on my resume, different
oh
ways
my
to
gosh, I
phrase
have that
things.
too.
Yeah. So, and also they'll kind of point you and direct you into like job and careers. So maybe different job possibilities that are around. And then additionally, interviews. Interviews are so, so scary. So,
Yes.
they'll also help you prep for that whole other thing, which will cut, I know in like public speaking classes, you'll be introduced to like interviews. So that also could help you.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I had that 30-minute interview as well, and they were so helpful.
Yeah.
Like, I am the type of person that thinks that like having more is better, but honestly, after I had that interview with them, I realized like having more does not make it look better. Like,
Yeah.
good to have like a small like chunks of good information rather than like long like unnecessary information on your resume.
Right.
And there are a lot of interviewers that don't need to know that extra little stuff. And I was editing out so much of my resume and I was like, wow, like I really do have such like unnecessary stuff on here. And
Yeah.
I cut down my resume to one page and it used to be two. And I was like, oh, like,
Yeah, and the career services, like their job is to help you. So why,
yes,
and it's free to, well, it's built into your tuition, but it's free to us. So
yep,
like why wouldn't you use that instead of after college where you're scrambling and Google searching like what you need to have on your resume? Like they are there, they're professionals, and they're there to help. So yeah,
yeah,
definitely use career services.
I agree. Yes, for sure.
So I think we can like do our 9 and 10 here, and then we'll be able to wrap it up.
Yeah, sounds amazing.
Okay, so uh, let's do a funny one here because I have struggled with this a lot in college, and
Okay,
it's
that's
it's a don't call your mom slash parents every day.
what
When I moved away, it was like super hard. And my mom was my best friend, so it was really hard to kind of
yeah.
break that umbilical cord, if you will, from her. And so yeah, you are gonna be okay. Every you As you make friends and get into the groove of your new life, you'll
Yeah,
slowly realize that you don't need your mom anymore. So just know that if you are dealing with some homesickness, totally, totally relatable. A lot of
yeah, that's
people have
normal. Yeah.
been
I even still get like homesickness and I'm a senior.
yeah.
It's crazy.
Oh yeah, like I remember it was like well in my freshman or like sophomore year. I was like, you will not call your mom for 2 days. Like give
Yeah.
2 days off. Because they're kind of going through the same thing too. So
Yeah.
it's totally normal. Everyone needs their mommy some days.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like try to build that independence because it will help you in the long run.
Definitely. And I feel like, especially for freshmen, because they just came out of high school and they've been living with their parents their entire lives. Like, and college is a time to be free. Like, you don't have your parents like around you. Like, this is the perfect, like, prime time to do whatever you want. Like, you don't have your mom up your butt being like, oh, do your homework,
Yeah.
do this, clean your room. Like, that's the one thing I was really excited about coming to college. I was like, I don't need my mom, like, telling me what to do.
Yeah.
Like, I'm finally growing up.
Yep.
So I definitely feel like, building independence is very important and it's okay to like call your mom like once a week or something. But I feel like if you call them like every day, it's kind of like, oh, like you're not really enjoying your college experience. And I feel like you should be able to like live in the moment and try to put yourself out there, Like, and my mom always told me, like, don't call me all the time. Like, go make friends. Like, go
Yeah.
do something with your life. Like, I'm not there for you. Like, I can't do anything. Like, I can't drive an hour every day to like, baby you all the time. Like,
Yep.
you need to grow up.
Yeah, no, I've had to have that hard talk too. And I thought I would be having to have that talk with her, but she ended up having that talk with me like, "Hey, like go make some friends." And I was like, "Did my mom just like break up with me?"
I was got her. I was like, oh my, not my own mom. And I'm the baby family too. Like, I have a brother that's 6 years older than me. So
Uh-huh.
like, I'm always babied growing up. And I was like, why is my mom like doing this to me?
Yep, yeah, and, the mom parent thing can also relate back to siblings and whatnot,
Yeah.
like, I totally get it, and I will say that's probably, like, one of the hardest things I've struggled with. So, once again, you're not alone, but, like, everyone that enters a university, it has to put themselves out there in some way. So, and I think that kind of wraps up into our last point, is to just be kind to yourself.
Yeah.
It's really easy to get on yourself like, well, no one wants to be my friend, or I'm, antisocial, or I'm shy, or what have you. There's always someone to talk to.
Yeah, definitely. Like you have your RAs in your dorms, like they love when, their residents come to their door and like want to talk. Like you have your roommates. Like I know freshman year I had 5 other roommates. And it was like nice having someone there all the time. Like if I was just having a bad day, going to the dining hall together, going to psychs, like it's just nice to like have someone, and just like being kind to yourself is really important, especially in college, because going back to the point nine, like you're not gonna have your parents all the time.
Hmm.
Like you need to be able to find someone that you can like depend on, not that's not your parents.
Exactly. Yep. Yep. So, it's just like, I feel like college is such a time for self discovery. And it's,
Yes.
you
Yeah.
only get to do it once unless you take a couple years off, which I don't suggest. But, you have 4 years to find out kind of who you are and where you want to go in life. So this is the time. And don't feel like you have to do it all in 1 year, but also realize that you only get 4 years. So it's all about balance, and just be kind to yourself.
Yeah.
Isn't
And college goes by so quick. Like I literally still feel like I'm a freshman. Like
it
and
crazy?
it's crazy. And now I'm graduating in 3 months. Like it's so like bittersweet. And I just want to tell freshmen, like literally just enjoy it while it lasts, because it's gonna go by so quick, and before you know it you're gonna be 3 months away from graduation, and you're gonna live back with your parents, job. Like I wish I could have another year of college, because my sophomore year was all on Zoom because that
Yeah.
was during COVID, and it was just so bad. Like I just feel like I wasted a whole year of college, and like if I could go back I would definitely go back to sophomore year.
Yes. No, I totally agree. And for me, it was freshman year. I just wish that I had that time to even make even more friends and get more established. But
Yeah.
with that being said, that is there's we could go on for hours about college
Yes.
and introductions and being a freshman. And I'm in my feels because it feels just so nostalgic now.
I know, I'm like getting ready right now.
We like start crying. But anyways, that kind of concludes our advice piece for this week's WCU Talks. Be sure to subscribe and check out our other podcasts. I know some other team members will be talking about food and different places on campus. So be sure to give them a listen.
Yes.
Yeah, and with
Lots
that being said, we will see you in the next episode.